Hello everyone, my name is Guilherme and welcome to another video, and this one is very fun because this is the world's first game made by me using my own game engine. It's work in progress, of course. I'm gonna play this in a second for you, but just to give some context, I'm participating on Ludum 15, 50 actually. The theme is delayed the inevitable, I'm sorry, and for the first time, I decided to use my own game engine. I tried that in the previous Ludum, but well, I had a lot of problems and I decided to move to Blender. But now it's time, and I have to say that I'm very happy with how it's going. Of course, there's no graphics here. Everything is a bunch of cubes and stuff with no textures, but I'm getting there. So let me hit play here. So you guys can see the game. So if I hit play, you can see that it starts. Can go to credits, and there's my studio name. There's nothing yet. I can quit the game, and funny enough, it asks to quit the entire editor, the engine editor. But of course, when you export the game, the kit works just fine. And I can click here in new game and can see it changes scenes, and I can control my character. And the idea for this game is you control a bunch of robots. So you have 3 robots here, and I can press Q or A to toggle between those 3 robots. And the robots do have an energy bar. So this is the energy bar. But as you walk, you can see that the energy gets dropped to the scene, and eventually you run out of it. So if you run out of it, you explode, literally explode. And this is the main mechanic. So this is the inevitable of the game. You will die, the robot will explode. But here's the thing: if you walk on the trace of the previous robot or your robot, you will be able to delay this because you are gaining the energy back. So this is the idea behind this game. And of course you can jump and do all sorts of stuff. I also have this energy recovery place that you can stand on it and it will recover your energy. But well, it's actually something that you may want to do, like to explode the robot. For example, there's a bunch of boxes here and they do have collisions, so you cannot walk inside this box, of course, but you can run out of energy here and explode the boxes. So we can see this going on. And of course, you do have a portal to go to the next level. Of course, this is a test level. There's nothing here. But if I go ahead here, I do have a you win message. So I can go to the next level or main menu. For now, both options only goes to the main menu because there's no level, as you can see here below. And well, I'm having a lot of fun doing this game because I will talk about the game engine. I'll talk about Cave Engine and how it is helping me to develop this game. But first of all, let's talk about like the elements. I do have an UI here, so you can see use Q&A to toggle between robots. Of course, you cannot see all the time because everything is a test graphics. So I didn't bother to do this, and I do have a reload button here that eventually you have an icon, but if I click here, it will restart the scene. I can pause the game just fine, and I can continue the game. And of course, if I manage to explode and pause the game fast enough, oh, the camera, by the way, super good. Like you can change anytime between the objects. So let me try. Here we go. The game is paused, and you can see that the explosion is paused. So if I continue, oh, it gets deleted because of something that I added. But anyways, it's always fun to see that you can do all that using my game engine. And this is all a different object. They are animated using code, and it's very simple to do this, basically like a sine wave function. And you can see that as I walk inside those objects, there's a particle system. Of course, everything is just a test mesh right now, so it's not beautiful, but still. And of course, when you explode this guy, here we go, there's more particles, as well as when you are inside this hitbox. So very simple concept for now, but my next step is to start making the art for this game and of course the level design, because there's no level here, there's no challenge, but eventually you have to like figure out how to walk on the map in a way that you're not gonna explode and run out of robots. For example, I only have 1 robot left and I do not have enough energy to go to the portal. Of course, I can backtrack here, and if I backtrack, I will save some energy. which is pretty cool. So I will be able to add mechanics like a button, a toggle button that you can turn on and then backtrack and finally win the game. So that's pretty cool. That's my idea to delay the inevitable. Of course, it is inevitable if you win the level, but you get a point. But the main thing here is Cave Engine in action for the first time. And I have to say, this is making a lot of good news, is bringing a lot of light and good news to Cave Engine. Because if you look here, I'm here with GitHub desktop open. In the history, like the commit history, from this commit all the way up to the top is new. I literally did like almost 30 commits from yesterday to today, only fixing stuff, improving stuff that I wanted to do. So I do have like the source code here of the engine. So I'm working in the game and improving the entire engine to make sure it's perfect for this game. And I have to say that, oh my god, the engine is getting better and better every time, every second I spend on this project. That's good news. So hopefully, like soon, you'll be able to have the new version of Cave Engine, because like it's been a while since the last version, right? And well, there's a bunch of small new stuff. For example, when you play the game now, it hides the UI and it disables the control, because previously, if like I click in credits, it was also selecting the UI element, and it was so annoying to use. And now there's nothing about this. Of course, you can press F3 to go back to these options, and you can literally select the objects here, and then if I want, I can press F3 again, and it will hide and will no longer be able to select other objects. The object that I selected in the past keeps selected for because it's helpful to see the debug information and so on. But you can even detach the camera if one and freestyle move around the camera. You can disable the UI, and literally like the game is playing, like the game is being executed. You can enable it back and go play a new game. And if the game playing, I can press F3, and I do have controls. I can move this object and do whatever I want. Of course, and something interesting that I did is you can hold Alt, just like in Real Engine, and duplicate the object, which is pretty cool. You can hold Ctrl as well to enable or disable snapping, because previously the only option was to enable it here on top. So that's very interesting. And of course, the game is running. I don't know if you've noticed that, but the game is still running, and I can edit the map as I want, anytime I want. So that's pretty cool. And of course, you can press F5 to go back to the editing mode. And as soon as I press F5 to play the game, or click here to play the game, you can see that there's a message here for 5 seconds saying that you can press F5 to quit. So very simple, but that makes a lot of differences when it comes to like the usability of the engine overall. And if you select an object, let me try to select this object here. Oh, I don't know if this is new for you in this channel, because I did that, it's been a while, but there's like this outline of the selected object. I did a bunch of icon work, so there's more icons and it's more pleasant to the eyes to see. And of course, but the main thing here, and this is what I want to talk about, is the usage of my new entity template, because this robot is an entity template, and I can duplicate this robot, and if I play the game, I'll be able to control all 4 of them. So this is the first, second, third, fourth. And the way this works in the engine is using the templates, as I already talked about in this channel before. But you can go ahead here in the gameplay folder, and this is a folder that I just created here, and there's a bunch of templates. And if I double click a template, you can see that I can edit the template just as you can expect in any other use case. So this makes my life way easier, because like the robot is a template and it does have the logic here. So if I go to the component, there's like a player component. The player component allows walking, and I've also added a bunch of smoothing to the player component. This is new. So it's super easy now to create like a player controller just like this one. And you can of course extend this using Python components. So this is a Python component, and I have this open it in Visual Studio Code because it's easier to edit the scripts here. So we can see well, 150 and 60 lines long script with all the robot controller mechanism, and I do have a bunch of other scripts to do other stuff, including the animation. So this is the energy animation, it's a simple script. This is the camera controller and the destructible object for the boxes. So I can edit my scripts in the editor that I want to. I can even edit this inside Cave itself. And something that's fun, and I just added is, let me see if I can find a good example of that. I think in the fade, because like I do have like a fade in and fade out animation here. And if you notice, like when I play the game, let me go back to the main menu and play, there's a fade in, and if I click new game, there's a fade out and then a fade in. And this is of course another entity template, and there's a script here, but I didn't want it to create like a new Python component only for that. So I added, I've created a new component type here, which is Python code, that allows me to literally write Python code directly here without the need of creating like a different component. Because again, for example, this script is super simple. It's not complicated. I don't feel like I need an extra like file for them, so I can just do this. And of course you can select if you want to do it this way or the other. It's up to you, but it's cool to have this as an option, you know. And like the way the entity templates work right now is very cool. I can literally open and you can see the particles. For example, I click here and there's a particle. There's the energy orb. This is the level portal. This is the camera rig that have my camera, and then the main menu UI. They also have like the U-wing menu, and it does have like the menu pause. So when the game is paused, this is the menu, and everything is organized. And if I want to create a new level, I can just drag and drop the camera rig that do have like the camera, the menus, and so on to the game, and it will work just fine. And that's amazing, of course. Talking about the particles, so this is the particle. There's the particle itself. I can click here and reset the particle, and can see here particle working again. I do have to make this reset every time I click, because if you see here, I click to edit the template, but there's no particle unless I click reset. But if you add this to the game, it will work every time, as you saw in the gameplay demo. The particle UI got a lot better now as well, because I do have like separate tabs for the mesh, for the spawn settings, so I can select the spawn stuff, and I can make uniform scaling for the spawner, and the particle life cycle can adjust everything as you can expect here. And of course, reset the particles to make it working, to see it working again. Something that's not possible yet is to do like opacity, like change the opacity of the particle in real time. It's not possible to do that, but I'm planning to add, because that's a very important feature for particles. But still, it's super good to have like this. Oh, it's super versatile to do stuff. I can like select the font, the material here. I can edit my materials, and of course I can drag and drop the materials, which is pretty cool. For example, this is the player. I can select this material here, like this black material. I can drag and drop here to this part of my player. And if I go back to my test level, you can see that all the players, all the robots became black here. And I can of course click here and edit the template and go back here and change this. I can select this, go to component, mesh, and change it here, or I can just select my material back. I think it's the test robot, and drag and drop it, and it will work just fine. So again, super easy to use, and I'm very happy with the results. And basically, like talking about the game, the main mechanic, like the core mechanic of the game, is completely done. So I can play around with the game, and I can start making my levels, which is pretty cool. Now, as I said, I will start working in the scene, in like the environment, the art of the game, and so on. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this game until tomorrow, which is the deadline. And it's so cool to see like those boxes breaking apart. Oh, something fun as well. There's like the gameplay props, and I do have like the box, and I can drag and drop the box to my scene just fine, and it will work. It's super good. Like this is a template. I can double click and edit my box. And this box does have like some logic here, a Python component, a transform, a reached body. I can of course click here to see the physics visualization and so on. And if I go back to my test level, I can simply drag and drop my box. as you can expect, just fine. And of course, you can do this with the robot itself as well. So this is the robot, I can do this. And as I said in the beginning, you can hold Alt to literally create a copy of this object. Oh, I forgot to remove the debug log of it being duplicated. But here you have plenty of options right now to make your game using Cave. I'm very happy with the result. I think Cave is finally getting to a point where it is like ready for production, which is pretty cool. Here we go. I also added a bunch of smaller stuff. For example, check this guy, it's going left, and then I want to go right. Check this guy rotating. You can see it's very fast because I made it this way in the code, but it no longer glitches when you rotate an object like to the opposite axis, I'm sorry, because it does have an improved look at function that uses quaternions for rotation, which is like, oh my god, something that I never thinking about it, but when working in this game, I was like, well, I can do this better using quaternions, so it's super smooth now. I can literally keep making this game and playing forever. Here we go, more particles. So that's it for this video. I will make it like a full devlog soon, as soon as I finish this. And by the way, if you are waiting for the 2D game engine devlog, like 2D game engine time-lapse actually, it's coming. I even uploaded it to YouTube already, but well, Ludum, it's taking all my time right now, so I will post this later this week, hopefully. And I will also publish the 2D game engine on itch.io. I'm almost coming to like a final name for it. I think it will call Dynamite, which is the name of my first game, just like Cave Engine is a reference for my first Steam game, which is Caveman. So I found this like a cool name. So let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I think this engine, I'm very happy with the result. Oh my god, it's so good to see all the particles and everything like in front of you, and you have all the control. You literally understand what's going on. Oh, I'm very happy. So that's it for this video, folks. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.